the NBA, but it's the people who watch the NBA, as the man in Boston has now been charged for throwing a water bottle at Nets guard Kyrie Irving. To talk about that and so much more, our good buddy, attorney Dan Luss, joins us here on Fox Sports Radio. Hey Dan, how are you?
I'm good, guys. Happy Memorial Day to both of you.
I honestly feel like if I have Dan Luss on a show that Aaron Torres is not on, like I feel like I'm cheating on Aaron. I don't know, Aaron, if you feel like it's the same way, but like I feel like us three need to be together. And I was going through like some other messages that we had previously, and I think it was around this time last year that we also got together and doing a holiday show. So it just feels right to get us all back together on this holiday weekend.
I think it's the 1-year anniversary of the band forming. I think that's
okay, all right. We're going on tour. Oh, yeah, we're seeing on HBO Max, the replay. All right, so Cole Buckley, 21-year-old Celtics fan, ends up being charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, which is a felony. Is this going too far? Is this what's expected? Are these charges appropriate for the 21-year-old Celtics fan, Dan?
So it's difficult. So people understand that there is a lot of options they could have charged them with a maximum charge. And I guess people are dissecting this video like it's a Courtroom film, but I guess as an initial point, if the water bottle makes contact with Kyrie's head, you go from something called assault, which in some jurisdictions means actually punching someone, hitting someone, but in most jurisdictions it just means getting close. It's almost like attempted battery. If it makes contact, it's battery. Okay, so you have maybe an assault, maybe a battery. Where it gets a little tricky and where I think some people might disagree with the opening charge, they're calling this assault and battery with a dangerous weapon. Now, could a full water bottle be considered a dangerous weapon, kind of like a rock if you're throwing somewhere offshore? It's an empty plastic water bottle. I'm not sure it's a dangerous weapon. I think if you said an empty water bottle is a dangerous weapon, the jury would look like you're insane. So, I think there should be some type of charge here, whether it should be a felony that carries up to 10 years in jail. I think that's a little much.
So then that, I guess, would be kind of my pseudo follow-up question is, obviously this guy is going to be arraigned tomorrow. What are the next steps? But I guess more importantly, I mean, what would actually happen in the courtroom? Because as you said, a jury's going to kind of sit there and say, come on, it was stupid, he shouldn't have done it, but, a deadly weapon or whatever. Is there a possibility that the charges get reduced? What are the next logical steps?
Yeah, so just like you were, like when we were talking about what type of contract the guy going to finally offer you have to kind of negotiate this down. So what the DA will generally do in these situations, they'll take the most serious possible charge they can make out. Here, could a water bottle be a dangerous weapon? But they'll kind of put their foot in the tent there and then say this is the most serious charge you can be given, felony, and then they'll try to take a plea deal from there. It's very rare that someone will take a plea to the most serious offense charge. So here, if you're going to try to create a felony, it means you're going to try to set up a situation where, this 21-year-old Celtics fan will plead to a misdemeanor. We'll see. Misdemeanor comes with jail time. I'm not sure if the criminal defense attorney is going to argue that. I watched the original footage, right, with the announcer. He doesn't think it makes contact with Kyrie Irving. There are witnesses that said that it maybe raised Kyrie's head. Just watch Kyrie in the video. I don't think he thinks it hits him. So there's a level of the statute that says that the individual or the victim has to be placed in reasonable apprehension for his life. And if Kyrie didn't know it hit him, or if it didn't hit him, that's a completely different level. So yeah, I think the criminal defense attorney is going to have a lot to argue here. It's interesting, right? That's so Trey Young, Russell Westbrook. It's the only one that amounts to criminal charges. So I don't know. It might set a precedent for other fans. We have to see.
Dan Luss, sports attorney, joining us here on Fox Sports Radio. Find him on Twitter at Sports Law Luss. He's Aaron Torres. I'm Dan Meyer, sitting in for Doug Gottlieb today. You mentioned the Russell Westbrook situation. I mean, is there anything like in that the prosecutor could charge someone for just dumping popcorn on someone?
Yeah, I say it's funny. If you ask me about the Trey Young one, I know spitting on someone is assault in the state of New York. I mean, it's not, you would never call, a loogie a dangerous weapon, right? Because it's not going to hurt anybody. But it's still offensive. It still rises to the level where there should probably be criminal conduct. Dumping popcorn on someone, I don't know, maybe it's harassment or like criminal mischief, but it's a very low level offense. You could charge someone with it, and it's not to say that the DA won't turn around and try to nail the Westbrook fan or, you know, even alternatively the Trae Young fan, but they know who it is. So, you know, I think it's interesting. I mean, I think it definitely sets a line in the sand that, you know, that you can't play that game with professional athletes. Yeah, I mean, by no means has the time frame run to hit these guys with criminal charges, so the ship has not yet been looked at.
And just to follow up on that, Dan, it seems to me that, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but that a court can only go so far in doing what they're doing, that the real deterrence almost would have to come from the arena or the team, and it's something that Aaron and I talked about, that you've got to figure out a way to make sure that other people, you know, don't do this anymore. Like, is that the court's role, or am I right in saying that the courts can really only do so much when it comes to trying to deter this?
I mean, it's not necessarily the courts as much as it is the police department. And, you know, I'm sure we've all been to our fair share of games. There's private security arena, and there's always police officers in the arena. So to the extent that they want to make a public arrest, like they did with the Celtics guy, I mean, it's kind of on them. The stadium, you know, I'm sure to some extent they're telling the police officers and security guards what to do, what not to do. I remember not so long ago, right, the Masai Ujiri incident with the Warriors and the Raptors. I mean, that was some rogue actor, not affiliated with the arena, making a decision. And, you know, could you have criminal charges that resulted from a security guard making arrests or private security guard? Sure. But yeah, I think it's kind of a hybrid problem. If the security guards want to make a decision, police officers want to make a decision, and if the arena wants to tell the officers and security guards that are there, hey, we want to make an example out of people, yeah, that's all in play. I think it's everyone kind of working in concert with one another.
So it's really interesting, Dan, because now there's all these variables that I hadn't even considered, and I just want to bring back something you said really quick. Could in theory, whoever was calling the game, and I don't know if it was Marv Albert or whoever, I had the TV on silent while I was watching, but, I mean, could Marv Albert talking about, oh, it looks like the bottle just miscarried, could that, like, actually be played in a court of law in defense of this kid that is now in so much trouble?
100%. I almost think that's an element for the other side, right? Because at a certain point, contact, put it this way, people need to understand what assault is. If I ball my